So today we are talking about practical steps to personal growth and our collective growth as a nation. And like the topic says, it's practical, like practical. It's not just theoretical. And I hope to be able to finish to give the overview of what I need to say in the next 30 minutes so we can open it up to discussions. I love discussions a lot because it opens up that opportunity for you to see things like the juicy part of the presentation. They get to come out when you have others rack their brains and bring out things that I might not have spoken about due to the constraint of time. But when questions come in, when suggestions come in, you see more light. Having said that, practical steps to personal growth. First, I'll start with that because a community is made up of individuals. If individuals are growing, the community will be growing. No matter how much you invest in a community, if the individuals are not growing, the community will not grow. So I am particular about seeing life from the ground up. It starts with an individual before it gets into the collective sense. That's why I'll be taking the approach of the individual first. And by individual, I'm talking about you listening to me, and not just you. You must understand the message to an extent where you can transmit it. Life is about ripples. You can have ripple effects. If everyone here today absorbs what I'm talking about today, then I know my message will get across to multiple persons beyond this place because you can only transmit what you understand. So I'm not just looking at you. I'm looking at those you will come in contact with. I'm looking at your colleagues in school. I'm looking at your colleagues in your workplaces. I'm looking at your family members. So I expect that assimilating tonight's discussion would produce ripple effects beyond this place. So that's my hope. That's my hope. So you know how seriously I take this event. I take every opportunity, even if it's one person I'm speaking to, I take it extremely seriously. So having said that, a few years ago, I saw a movie which cuts across, as I was thinking about today's presentation, I remembered that movie, and it says, the title of the movie says, The Men Who Built America. The Men Who Built America. I think some of us would have seen that by now. And I'm not interested in just the content. The title is enough. It goes a long way in making us understand that America was built by humans. And if you understand that movie, you see that industrialization, like the United States witnessed in the 20th century, we are pioneered by bold men with visions, bold men with visions. And who says you and I cannot be some of those men for Nigeria? Who says you and I cannot be some of those men for Africa? Understanding this makes the matter of personal growth vital. I will explain. First of all, you can note this. You can note this down. In your life's journey, come to a point in your life where you mark out something bigger than yourself to live for. Take note of that. In your life's journey, come to a point in your life where you mark out something bigger than yourself to live for. There are two types of goals. There is a selfless goal and a selfish goal. The selfless goal and the selfish goal. You see, The actualization of visions to a very large extent is dependent on motivation. How far you can go, how consistent you can be, the extent of your impact, how long it can be sustained, to a very huge extent is dependent on motivation. Your ability to sustain motivation. And that is why what is motivating you is vital. If the reasons why you do the things you do is because of yourself, you are going to quit someday. You are going to get to a point in your life where you think you've done enough. Let me explain a little bit further. The problem with personal goals, the problem with selfish, what I call selfish motivation, a motivation that is powered by a will to take. I want to acquire. I want to get a certificate. I want to get a certificate. I want to feel this. I want to get this job. I want to be in this position. The problem is that such goals are things you can actually achieve quickly, faster than you ever imagined. And when you eventually get there, your motivation dies. But the beauty in selfless goal is that it keeps evolving. A selfless goal can push you further than a selfish goal can. What do I mean by a selfless goal? A selfless goal is a goal that is geared towards giving. How do I make the life of the next man better? How do I add value to the society? If what is pushing you to do the things you do is a desire to be valuable to humanity, a desire to be valuable to society, you find out that you will never stop. And you will have that inherent capacity to go beyond any obstacle. There's a difference between a guy who went into the university because he wants to make a first class and feel good, and a guy who went into the university because there's a problem he wants to solve in the society, and he has discovered that business administration is a field that would help him acquire the knowledge he needs to solve that problem. A guy who wants to make a first class will make a first class, and that's okay. He will be jubilating. He has done it. Just get a good job. Good. But the other guy would go an extra mile. The other guy will study beyond the academic text given to him because there's a problem bigger than him he wants to solve. And that other guy would go beyond graduation in the pursuit of value, the capacity to add value to the society. So there is this selfishness that is a major bedevilment we have in Nigeria. You think so much about yourself. Why do people go to school? Because they want a certificate, they want to get a good job. It's not a bad idea, but that is where it ends. So first of all, you must come to a point in your life where you find that you start deriving motivation from a need to solve a problem in the society that is bigger than you. I often tell my close friends this: if the reason why I'm pushing forward in life is for me to get good certificates, for me to graduate in school, I won't be doing the much I do. I hardly sleep. In fact, many of my close friends, they're the ones that are complaining and pushing me that I need to rest more. I spend a good deal of night studying. And I'm not doing this because of my academics. No. By the mercies of God, if I do half of what I do, I will get through any academic system comfortably. I go the extra mile because I've looked at humans in the society. I've seen that people are living below their capacity. I've seen that people can be more than they are. I've seen that there's a problem in Africa. There's a problem in industries. There's a problem with businesses rising in Nigeria and Africa. And people are meant to understand these problems enough to provide solutions to them. That is the fuel pushing my life. I want to provide solutions to problems bigger than me. And for me to successfully do that, I must understand things from a higher dimension. A drowning man cannot help a fellow drowning man. You must be above the water before you can help a man who is drowning. So come to a point in your life where you are living for something bigger than you. If you are going to form an industry, if you are going to make if you are going to float a company or a firm, let the reason why you are doing that not be because of money. Let the reason you are doing that be because there is a problem in the society. See, if you look at many firms that lasted, I took a good deal of time some days ago I was talking to a firm on building sustainable businesses. So we analyzed IBM. I would sift out one of two things. The reason why IBM was founded was to help industries and the society at large with information gathering and processing. That was the vision behind the formation of IBM. And that is why, as the society kept evolving, the goal of IBM kept enlarging. The company never died because there will always be more to be done. From the development of what they call counting machines to the punch cards that they use for the census, they move from there to personal. There is always a new dimension of the problem of the society that will push you further and further and further and further. So if the reason why you are pushing through in life, let me give you an example. The Asia now, they have this banking system that China is developing for their region, something close to World Bank. They want to do something similar to World Bank. And imagine being in the financial sector in Nigeria. You studied business finance and whatever, financial management and all these things. And the reason why you are studying that is because you know that Africa has a problem. We can't manage ourselves. Even in the financial sector, look at what is happening in Nigeria with regards to inflation and all those recession and all those things. If the reason why you are studying whatever it is because you want to help. I have a friend here. She said she discovered that she's a Nigerian, a lady. She said she discovered that the top 100 investment bankers in the United States, I think they have just one woman in their list. Oh, I don't think there's a black person. I've forgotten how she said that. So she discovered a new goal to set a record for blacks after her, not just because of herself. She wants to clear a path that will become a reference point to usher in more people after her. And that is why this girl is doing a lot. She's studying a lot. She's someone I know that this year alone, I think she has read over 100 books. And by next year, she's targeting reading 100 other books in investment banking. You think that kind of motivation can come from just a desire to get a job? It's when you come to a point in your life where you take yourself out of the equation and you are seeing beyond you are seeing others. It's that kind of motivation that can drive you. It can drive you. It can make you it would make you make sacrifices that are unimaginable. And it is the secret of personal growth and drive, living for something beyond you. I was listening to this comedian, Michael Jr. Some of you might know he's one of the top comedians in the United States, and I think he's an actor too, Michael Jr. And he was talking about what changed his life. He said he had always been giving comedy in different places, going to clubs and so many other places. But on this particular day, basically, comedians, what we think they do is to get laughter out of people. He said on this particular day, as he was about to walk on the stage, and he had a drastic change of mindset. Something occurred to his spirit. He said, all the while, I've been trying to get laugh out of people. Why don't I, instead of trying to get laugh out of them, why don't I give them an opportunity to laugh? Like, why don't I give them, these are two, you might think it's the same thing, but when you have the getting mentality, you will actually do the barest minimum to scrape by, so long as you get. You will do the barest minimum to scrape by, so long as you get. The getting mentality says any way through which I can get, even if it is a short means, even if it's a shortcut, okay. And you see that mentality is it's one of the thing, it's an endemic problem in Nigeria. Everybody is trying, everybody wants to get, and whatever means through which I can get is okay. He said, when he had that change of mindset, instead of getting laugh out of people, I would rather give them an opportunity to laugh. Giving. So the first thing that happened was after his comedy show that day, he noticed that his comedy took a new shape. Secondly, as he walked out of the club that day, for the first time, he noticed that there was a homeless man that was sitting beside the club. And he went to interact with the homeless man to cheer him up. But what happened to him was this. According to him, he said, before then, that homeless man had been there, but he never saw the man. He would come and go, do his job and go. He was getting, do your job, get your money and go. But when he had that reverse mindset, instead of getting, let me give, suddenly he started seeing more opportunities to give, opportunities that are beyond money. That was when he started going to motherless children's home, so many places, to the prisons of his own accord. Nobody invited him because he had changed, he had a change of mindset to giving. And I'll give you another practical example. If we are what we call mechanics in Nigeria, I know many of us will understand that. What we call mechanics in Nigeria, most mechanics think that their responsibility is just to fix car and make money. See, if not even to fix car, many of them think their responsibility, their duty is to make money. And that is why they are willing to cheat you to make money. Once they can get that money, it's good. But do you know that the job of a mechanic is beyond making money? Actually, mechanics, if I'm to define their responsibility, they are that set of persons that help people get to their destination safely. The lives of so many persons are in their hands. So they're giving people safety. You see, a mechanic that has come to see himself from this perspective that he's called to give people an opportunity to be safe will go the extra mile. He will do the best job possible. He will not cheat you because he knows that cheating you would might create an opportunity. You might die in the process because of something wrong he did. That single change of mindset can change everything. It can drive a mechanic nuts in terms of the quest for excellence. And when we are talking about a nation of our dream, we are thinking about a nation that overflows in excellence. And if we are to realize that nation, there must be a shift in mentality in the citizens of that nation. A shift from the getting mindset to the giving mindset. Very important. And it's something that many Nigerians, that's why you see many people that go to school in Nigeria, what they're thinking about is once I get this certificate, they will give me a job. Am I right? You will agree with me. Once I get this certificate, they would give me a job. And when they do not give me a job, I get sad, I get depressed because I think I'm entitled to giving, receiving. I'm entitled to receiving. But if the reason why you went to school is to acquire knowledge enough to give back to the society, you find out that when you step out of school and NYSC, what will be going through your mind is, how do I give? How do I develop something, a structure that can add value to the society? A giving mindset, which is a totally different thing altogether. That change of mindset can transform your life. And that is exactly one vital thing we need to build in Nigeria. You need to understand this and you need to transmit this to others. You need to understand this and you need to transmit this to others. Then secondly, this would be short, dare to dream. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. Have that boldness to dream again. For some of us, we've lost a lot of our ambitions. Many of us, when we were coming up, we had that dream of rising to a point where we are very impactful in the financial sector of Nigeria and Africa. But life has beaten those dreams out of us. You graduated, you didn't get a job when you think you should. Somehow you are beginning to think that it's okay to survive. It's okay to scrape by. But I'm trying to remind you again of the need to dare to dream again. Go down, search your heart. What is that ambition that would add value? Not you, like I say, that's why I'm progressing, following a sequence, not you. What is that ambition that can transform the next man, that can transform the society that you once had in your heart, that life has beaten you to a point where you dropped? Pick them up again, dare to dream again. Look, any good thing you know about in life was started by people. I keep telling people, you see, no industry is bigger than a single individual. I say this anytime, anywhere. The reason is because every industry you know today was founded by the idea in the head of one person. And what makes you think that that idea that is geared towards adding value, that is in your head tomorrow, cannot transform an entire continent? What makes you think so? The fact that you are looking at ideas today that are living, Microsoft, Facebook, ideas that have grown to a point where they're bigger than nations. The fact that they are looking at you, it's enough testament to the endless possibility a man can walk in. So if you have the capacity to dream, then it is possible. Nigeria needs dreamers. Africa has vast potentials. I can't say this enough. Africa has immense potentials that can only be tapped into by dreamers, young people who dare to dream. What Nigeria needs is not just a bunch of educated people. We need young people who would be bold enough to dream again. The third part is this: have a standard for your life. Have a standard for your life. If you understand this, it will change your life. Have a standard for your life. And when I mean standard, I'm not talking about a local standard. I told myself so many years ago that whatever it is I will do in life, it must be up to an international standard. That I will never do anything in my life that someone in Australia will pick and won't be able to kind of go through it, or whatever it is. I will not write a book that someone in Russia, it's not an English speaking country. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I will not write a book that someone in the United States would pick up and would have a hard time reading through it because of the quality. Make it a standard for yourself that whatever you do, it must be up to an international standard. It must be something that anybody, anywhere can pick up and resonate with it. It's something you have to decide at this stage. That whatever I do, it must be something that anybody, anywhere, at any time, no matter the status of the person, anybody, anywhere can pick that up and resonate with it. Make it a standard for your life. This single change in mentality will transform your life. It will drive you the extra mile. You know, there are books I would have written years ago, but I refused to write them because I felt I was not ready to write them. I wasn't yet knowledgeable enough. I had not yet grown my capacity to write to the extent I want to. You know, a lot depends on how far you can see. By God's grace, I got exposed to books of people like C.S. Lewis, Philip Yancey, so many phenomenal authors that God used to transform my life. And the quality of their works is out of this world. I told myself years ago, if I must do anything, if it's not up to this standard, I will not do it. And I noticed that the more I opened up myself to higher standards, my taste increased. It happened to me. At a point, sorry to say, I couldn't read certain things by Nigerian authors again. I just couldn't cope. Because you pick up a book and you literally feel like somebody woke up one morning and scribbled something on a book and dropped because he wants to make money. But you know, there are books you will read, and as you're reading the book, you don't know the author, but you will see a weight of investment in this book that probably to write this single book, it took this author 2 years. of preparation, 2 years of study, 2 years of research, some 3 years, some 5 years to bring out one piece. And believe ye me, when you pick up that book and read it, you will know the difference is clear. When you see a book with heavy press, because whatever you do reflects the quality of your mind. Know this. When you talk, you betray the quality of your mind. Your words betray the quality of your mind. Humans are beyond words. Two persons can say exactly the same thing, but that said by one person would carry more weight than the other person. They said exactly the same thing. Obi is a boy. Two different persons. That same Obi is a boy. In the mouth of the first person would be light. The same Obi is a boy in the mouth of the second person would carry more weight. And the difference actually is in the quality of the spirit, the content of the inner man. What you have within you somehow has a way of reflecting on everything about you. It's a plain fact that I discovered in life. There have been times in my life where I made some presentations. Based on my quality, I would call them shabby. I just woke up, I had a lot to do, and I'm like, just organize something and went online. And recently, someone sent me, I had an online presentation, and no one basically knows me personally. And then after the presentation, a lady, an African American, she sent me a message via my email, and we started communicating. And I was like, okay, why did you pick out my name and send me the message? How come? And she said, yes, I listened to your presentation and it was different. And guess what? That presentation, in my own opinion, was one of my worst presentations because I wasn't prepared for it. I just wanted to scrape by. Then after my conversation, I was like, what? I didn't say anything special. And I remembered what I understood a long while ago, that the quality of your mind reflects on your words, your writings, and everything. What gives content to the things you do is actually beyond those things in themselves. It's the quality of your mind. It reflects on everything about you. So give yourself a standard and transmit this to the people you meet. Tell yourself that though I'm a Nigerian, whatever I do, it should be of such quality that anyone, anywhere, at any time can pick that stuff up and resonate with it. If you successfully do this, that it will change your life. It will drive you nuts. You will go the extra mile. It will keep you awake in the night when you should have. There are things that if you are to do it the Nigerian way, you will finish it in 1 hour and just drop it and go. But if you are to do it the right way, it might take you 2 days to prepare for it. So it's not enough. I was telling the company I spoke to 2 days ago, I said, it's not enough to get something done. How you get it done is important. It's not enough. Now, when I look back at the man I was some years ago in Futo, when I had to do some assignments, somehow we juggled through everything and found our way around it and just get back. Like, really, I've changed drastically. I'm like, what was exactly in my head then? But the funny truth, many of my mates back then still have exactly the same mindset till today. And that's one of the major problems we are suffering as a nation. So if you notice, I've dwelt so much on personal growth because personal growth is the foundation for communal growth. It's the foundation for societal growth. And I want you to understand it so much so that it transforms your life first, and then you can go on to transmit this. And if you are to be a founder of a business, a company, don't do it because you want to make money. No, do it because you want to bring something valuable enough that it can transform an entire nation and an entire continent. And whatever it is you are doing, decide within yourself that it will be such that I can bring an American, and the American will look at the quality of this company, the structure, the system, the culture, and comfortably fit into it. And for that to happen, it must be up to an international standard. So I want us to have a change of mindset. Get beyond Lagos standard. Get beyond Anambra standard. Whatever it is you find your hands doing, set a standard for yourself and never compromise on that standard. If that would mean taking more time, take more time. Till today, I still read E.W. Kenyon's books because his books are amazing. You see the content, you see the investments. There are books by Nigerian ministers that I don't read anymore. Sorry to say, I can't read them. It's not that they're not saying good stuffs, but it's as if somebody just woke up one morning and he wants to make money and just wrote one thing. Then, when all these things are done, I now want to progress. I now want to create a route through which we can enter into how we can carry along our personal growth into the societal growth. You understand the need for a personal growth. Now, the second thing is, how do I carry the man I am in such a way that it bends to influence the society? And I will say this, you need a platform. You need a platform. It's high time that smart, intelligent minds in Nigeria started doing things. And when I mean smart and intelligent minds, I mean some of these people looking at me, some of these people listening to me today. It's high time you understood that it's not enough to be okay in your private life. It's important that you get out there and create a platform. One of the problems the world have now is that people who don't know are making the loudest noise. And people who know are hiding. They don't want to come out. That's the reason for the crazy outlook of our current world. It's high time you started creating a platform. Are you into music? Are you into writing? Are you into different things? Create a platform. Create a platform. Create a platform. Build social media influence. Create a platform. Shoot it out there. We need more intelligent voices in Nigeria. It's very important. If you know, it's been a long time people have been telling me. A lot of times I stay alone. I like being on my own and all that stuff. But people would always tell my pastor, "What are you doing? Don't you think it's time you start talking? Don't you think?" I'm like, I don't think I have strength for that. But at the point I realized that I couldn't continue that way. Whatever it is I think I have learned, I should create an avenue through which I can disseminate it to people. I was so happy when I finished speaking in the firm and they got back to me. They were amazed, and I'm grateful to God for that. But that's the idea. Being of value to the next man starts with creating a platform. I need some of us to decide to get out there on social media, start writing. Now I had said something, don't do it the way they have been doing it. You see, the problem, education is supposed to change the way you think. It's supposed to give you that ability to do things differently. So whatever platform you are planning on venturing into from this point, have a standard and do it in a way that would be different. Check out what other people are doing around the world. There is this guy, 1 Week Tonight. He's an American. He has a YouTube channel. An amazing. When you listen to this guy's YouTube, I'm not a YouTuber, but when you listen to this guy's YouTube channel, it's as if you are listening to CNN. And that's why in a single day, if he puts out any video he puts out in a day, he garners millions of subscribers, listeners and viewers from around the world. You think 1 million persons every day will listen to what you are doing if the quality of the work is not such that they would want to identify with. So with your education, with the things you are learning, whatever platform you are going to create out of this place, aim towards giving it a touch of excellence and such a standard that anyone, I've seen a lot of people that have different YouTube channels talking about Nigerian stuff. And like, I've also seen some awesome guys. There's this particular lady, Adiola, she's doing an amazing job. But the baseline of what I'm saying is, it's time we get out. We get out there and do things. It's time we create. At times I'm like, what if people like Davido and these others understand some of these things we are talking about? You know that the platform these guys have, that they can cause major revolutions in Nigeria. Many of them don't actually know the power of the platforms they have because understanding. They don't know the power of the platforms they have. They think it's just enough to sing a wonderful song. If you watch very well, people like Fela Kuti, Bob Marley, many of those people use their platforms actually to cause major changes in the society. That's why the governments of their days were after them. Because they were not just singing for singing's sake. Their music platforms were actually used to ignite major changes in the society. I still listen to a lot of their songs, like Redemption Song by Bob Marley, because these are songs that they gave that reflected the reality of the society, and millions, by consuming those songs, were transformed in their mindsets. They understood the ills of the governments of their time, and that's why the governments were after them. Yeah, the Bob Marley, a couple of them, Fela Kuti and others. What do we have today in Nigeria? I'm not trying to mock anyone, but I remember when I was in Futo, there was this artist said something, I love my baby. Okay. I was like, I told a friend, I said, this music is baseless as far as I'm concerned. If you love your girlfriend, it's none of my business. Of what use is that to the society? And that is why we have so many music artists in Nigeria, but they're not doing much. Um, I love Fast, actually. He's doing a phenomenal job. And we need more of people like Fast. And I'm not surprised. You know, the guy is very intelligent. He's extremely intelligent, and it's reflecting on the quality of his music. It's reflecting on the content of his music. So we need more people like that. The last but one point is this: seek to understand. We have a lot to understand in our generation. What do you know about Nigeria? What do you know about the problem we face as a nation and as a continent? What do you know about your state? When you realize that you have so much to understand before you find yourself in a position of leadership, it will drive you to study. It will drive you to acquire knowledge. Knowledge is not just for passing exam. Recently, I've been studying some things on the interaction between the church in America and the government. What exactly happened? I'm noticing some discordance in the relationship between the religious front and the governmental front. And this is a major problem that is creating the polarity in American politics. I realized that I need to understand what is happening, and it drove me to study. And I'm reading so many books by phenomenal writers. Seek to understand first. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you are interested in, seek to understand before you air an opinion. And we must start from understanding the problems we have as a nation. We have a problem in Nigeria. We have a problem as a continent. The Black man as a whole, globally, we have a problem. We can't continue behaving as if there is no problem. Our generation, we can't continue that way. There is a problem. And we need to understand the root of this problem. And it starts with you. You went to school. The greatest capacity, university, whatever education gave you is the ability to read and write. Any man that has these two capacities is unlimited in life. He's only limited to the extent he allows himself. If you can read, if you can write, then you have the capacity to understand whatever it is that is troubling the society. So you see, the black race, we have a problem. Africa, we have a problem. Nigeria, we have a problem. And this is the generation that I expect to rise to profile solution to some of these problems. Seek to understand. And this should drive you into in-depth study beyond your academics. Become a lifetime student. Become a lifetime student. I don't know how many articles I read in a day. It's no pride. I don't know. I can't give account of how many articles. In fact, I have this habit that whatever I'm into, I do it. I love football. And I don't just watch football, I study football. I've read a lot of things on Liverpool. I bought a book on Jurgen Klopp. I mean, I'm actually going to order another book on Now They Will Believe Us by Robertson. I read articles daily, multiple articles on football, because I've somehow inculcated into myself that desire to understand whatever I'm doing. I need to understand it to the basics. If I love football, I must understand the nitty-gritties of the game. I must understand the politics behind the game. I must understand the the pathway, the convolutions that make the game what it is. And I want you to absorb that mindset too. Lastly, the hope: we must maximize social media. For our nation, Nigeria, social media is a weapon that this generation has given to us. I have a dream. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I have a dream. Imagine, I just want to expand your imagination so that when you live here, if you followed us up until this point, you realize that we've been able to establish the importance of education, mass education, uplifting the mindset of the people. In the transformation we are expecting to see in Nigeria, we've come to see the importance of education. Because we might not be able to send everybody to school, proper school, social media is a weapon we must aim to maximize. I have this dream about Nigeria. Imagine if we can channel, one of the reasons why it was difficult for the government to control the NSAS process was because of social media. They couldn't pinpoint certain persons like they used to do in the last at other times. They just pinpoint a few individuals and isolate them, and everything is over. It was difficult because social media gave us that flexibility not to have a definite location. You can't say it is here or there. Social media would be a great instrument in the transformation of Nigeria when handled intelligently. That's why I keep talking about intelligent minds. What makes you think? I think the maximum capacity of Zoom. See, our politicians, their strength lies in division. They have succeeded in dividing us for years. And for the first time in Nigeria, 2020, Nigerians across multiple age brackets, across different tribes, we are able to come together and find out for ourselves that there are two tribes in Nigeria, the elites and us. There are two tribes in Nigeria, the elites and us. They divide us. And once they successfully make us think that the next man is your problem, they can go on and keep doing what? Cutting away with our national treasures. The kind of energy we mustered in NSAS, imagine if come 2023, Nigerians have what I call a national, I'm seeing so many pockets of Zoom meetings, but I'm not satisfied. What if Nigeria has what I call a national Zoom meeting organized by, like I said, it's a big dream. I don't know it is possible. Let me say that. Imagine if these people, certain people that are celebrities that have a lot of followers, decide to come together and harmonize their followers and have what I call a national Zoom meeting of young persons in Nigeria. A day, 2 days of everybody in Nigeria, every young person would log on to Zoom and have 1 or 2 people that understand Nigeria to educate Nigerians, to educate our generation on the problems we have and the way forward for the elections. Do you know, if we succeed in doing this one thing, we will crumble the walls of the current political structure, and they are afraid of it happening. I'm not talking about isolated cases. When would this one person is doing this, that person? I'm talking about just the way we publicized NSAS. Imagine if we decide to come together to have a national Zoom meeting in Nigeria. And we say that on the 20th of December, everybody, every young person that has a cell phone and has access to data should be able to follow up on this meeting. Zoom can contain millions, I learned. Do you know that if we succeed in doing that, we will crumble the current political system in Nigeria? They are afraid of us doing this thing that I'm telling you. They're actually afraid of us doing this. And lastly, understand. May I reiterate that the greatest treasure of Nigeria is not our oil and gas. Our greatest treasure is our people. A nation that is people focused is a nation that will do well. A nation that understands that her wealth is dependent on the mind of their people, her capacity to develop the mind of her citizens is what will drive the economic development, is a nation that will do well. Recently, I think UAE decided to open up and give what they call the golden visa to people with certain certificates and people with certain quality of education to pump into UAE. It's funny, but other nations are beginning to understand this. The mind, the quality of minds you have in your country will determine how far you will go. I almost wanted to stop, but let me add this. Take away from you that mindset that makes you think that it must be your tribal man. Let the best man do the best job. We need to develop that mentality in Nigeria. Meritocracy. Any nation that must do well must be built on meritocracy. Any nation that must do well must be built on meritocracy. That your kinsman is gunning for the governor does not mean that he should be that you should support him if he's not the right person for the job. At the end of the day, you will be the one that will suffer for their inaptitude. They are not the ones. They will cut away with as much money as they like with their families. Look at what is happening in Abia State. I saw a video where they said during the election, some people were saying, if you're an Igbo, what by the implication is we need somebody from Aba. It has to be somebody from Aba that would be the governor. They got someone from Aba. Now look at the state, the deplorable situation of the state. There are two tribes in Nigeria, the elites and the rest of us. But these guys that are on top have somehow learned how to divide us. And so long as we allow them continue, we are not going to make progress as a nation. At this point, I think I'm going to call it a day for the presentation, and I will open it up to discussions and questions. Thank you so much for listening. I'm grateful.
All right, thank you so much, Vina. Thank you very much for that amazing presentation. I mean, it's been a wealth of knowledge we've garnered here tonight. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right, so I believe this is where we have the interactive session. So we're going to open it up now. I think we still have some time on our hands. Though it's short, but we can open it up. Do you have a question, a suggestion? You want to drive the conversation in a certain direction? Now is that time. The floor is open. Just indicate, and we would have you. Oh, thank you, Chinemeram. I can see your comment there. Yeah, still gratitude to Sarina. Thank you so much again, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So the floor is open.
Good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening. Good evening, sir. We can hear you loud and clear. Please go on.
Mr. Winner, I want to say very big thank you, sir, for the amount of wisdom, knowledge that you've been giving us throughout the days. I want to say very big thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So about creating things, creating substantial material for improving the lives of people. Like me, I do music. I do
Mm-hmm.
I do a kind of music. I call it conscious Christian raps. So these things has to go out there. I believe it can liberate anybody's mind from whatsoever puts the person in bondage. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to the finances. Like that's what I was talking about with Brother John today. The finances to do all these things. Like yes, we do have ideas. We most of us do know what to do. But the money, those videos that you were talking about, those things cost money. So that's what I want to know.
Okay. I will say this. I believe in a particular statement. Where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a way. I was listening to something by Linda Ikeji. I'm not her fan anyway. I would like to say that. I don't know, I'm not a fan of so many of these celebrities, and it's not that I have anything against them, just that I'm not so much into them. So, but she was telling her story, how she had her business plan and everything. When she started, she went to 6 banks, they turned her down. She decided to start anywhere. She started it out somehow with nothing and started building. I won't be able to tell you the full story, but I'll tell you this. When you have no capital, focus on developing your quality, no matter how little it is. I'll tell you this. You see, a trained genius can never be hidden for long. It's one thing I found out. You are into music, wonderful. You need capital, it's not there, wonderful. In your little world, before that capital comes, keep building on your music, developing the quality of your music. Get a YouTube channel. You don't need much of sponsorship. Get a YouTube channel. Even if it's, I one day created a video. I wanted to do something. I created a video with information. Before I did that, and I normally when I want to do certain things, I take time to study. I took some time to spend time online to study, and I think that's the first video I've ever created in my life. Like I needed to do something. When I finished it, I put it up. My friend, he works in share. He was like, who did this? I said I did it. He said, wow, that the quality is so good. Like, okay. But you see, something good, something with quality, over time, it will sell itself. Understand this. Just focus on building the quality of what you are doing. Open a YouTube channel. Do you know that you can make something that is so good that if you put it up on YouTube and share it with your friends, from one person, it can move to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, and you find yourself over time to places you never imagined. There's this devotional I normally put up on my WhatsApp status. I don't know who wrote it. I put it on a daily basis. It's so good that most of my friends that read my WhatsApp status, as in, many of them keep asking me, please, where can I get this book? Where can I get this book? Please. I tell them I don't know. Do you know what happened? I told them it's like a ripple effect. I get the book from the wall of one of my mentors. Every day he shares it. And I asked him, sir, where can I get this book? He said he doesn't know. That he gets it from his friend's wall every day. And he asked his friend said he doesn't know. That he also gets it from another friend's wall. So people are already taking it from my wall. And I believe those people, that other persons are taking it from their own walls. Why? Quality. It is too good. It is too practical. That writer has a phenomenal ability to translate the Bible into real life experiences with stories in a way that will touch you. He doesn't even know that his works are creating ripple effects. And I don't even know him till now. I don't know him. And there are people that wait for it on my wall steady. They wait for it for me to just post it, and they pick it, read it, and put it in their own wall. So you see, even if you think, I have another friend like you that is interested in music. He's an excellent mind. He made a first class, not just a first, my very good friend, but he feels called into the music sector. And he listens to me. We are very good friends. Do you know what I told him? I said, understand that what you are gearing towards will take a little bit of time. And I gave him this advice. I said, hunger won't kill you because you are trying to push towards the music industry. You need a job. Let me put it clearly this way. I told him this. You need a means of sustenance while you pursue your dream. Don't lose your dream. What you need now is time. Find a job as small as it can, even if it's a job that will be giving you 50,000 every month, that you are sure you are eating. And it should be such a job that will give you time. Because in his case, I told him, what you want to do, what you see as your calling in life is what you need time to do. That means it might mean that you have to turn down a 300,000 naira job for another 100,000 naira job that will give you time. So it's like a compromise. And I gave him a scenario. I advised him to pick up a job as an academic job. It might not pay him so much, but it will give him time. It will give him very little resources to start up, buy equipment, start production in his room. You know, excuse me. I know people that are doing so well with TED Talks that they started in their rooms. They started in their rooms. So look at starting small, but in that level you are in, give it so much quality that no eyes will see. Give yourself this goal. What's his name again? Okay. Give yourself Benjamin, right? Yes. Give yourself this goal that you see that music you are producing, it will have so much quality that nobody will see it and not share it. Just make this your goal, that the quality of your music will be so good, even if it's something you made in your room. Start little by little to plan. If you save up money, make it a 2021 goal to buy a filter, these microphone filters. You can combine with somebody, a friend who has keyboard.
These things are my goals already, sir.
Yes, who has keyboard. Find another person who has a guitar. It's one thing. Many of us want to start big. It's not true. If you read the Bible, the story of David, the people the Bible later recorded as the mighty men of David were riffraffs, people that were chased out of their families, that attached themselves to David. And David, who understood the covenant, made them great. Find that young man on your street that is a nobody but knows how to play keyboard. Bring him. That's the kind of persons you need that will not charge you 20,000. Find that young lady that can play guitar, the guitar, bring her. She will not charge you 50,000. Give them a dream, sell the dream, but it must be something concrete that people would like to place their lives to it. You can start in your room. Give it so much quality that no eyes will set on any video, no matter where it is you made it, that you made, that will not want to share that video. Attach your Instagram handle to it. Attach your YouTube page to it. Be consistent with quality for the next 1 year. Let's see how far you will go.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Benjamin, for that question. Thank you. Just to also add, like I always tell people, money is never the end. It's the means to an end. Focus on the end. The means will always come. Thank you so much, Rina, again for that. Thank you. All right, I think we have a comment here. It's from China Merriman. I'm going to read it out. It says, Nigeria as a nation do not appreciate competence and intellectual pursuits, and attempts towards this end are usually met by scorn and trolls. There is a glaring need of mindset change among the Nigerian populace, beginning from you and I. The Jews are regarded as the most successful race in the world. They have a renowned culture of doing everything with excellence. I think that's a comment there. Wina, do you want to say one or two thoughts as regarding that?
Yeah, what he says is actually good. The culture of excellence. Excellence. Look, excellence sells itself. You see, excellence, it sells itself. It does. It sells itself. That is the plain fact. And its excellence is not that common with Nigerians.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not common with Nigerians. It's not common. Many Nigerians write books because they want to make money. And the funny truth is, they're not even writing that book because they want people to see the book as something worth buying. No. Do you know why Nigerians write book? Because so that they can organize launching in church. And they'll gather church and
Oh my God.
check what I'm saying.
That's
Immediately
crazy.
after that launching date,
That's
after
crazy.
1 week, it is over. You won't hear anything about the book again. So all the money they will make would be the initial money they got from launching. And that's why they will be disturbing you to you have to attend this launching. And you attend, you bring 2,000. This other person attend. If 100 people, if 100 people can attend and bring 2,000, or some will give 5,000, they will gather that money. They have made money from the book. That is the mindset of an average Nigerian. But in many developed countries, that's not the mindset. What if you target writing a book that by the time I'm done reading it, it will be so good that I will recommend it to the next person? And guess what? That book, you might not start out so well, but one day, if the quality it's unavoidably good, one day that book will fall into the hands of one person, just one person by mistake, that would, the alchemist Paulo Coelho, when he wrote the book, the first publishing firm he gave the book, they rejected it. The next one didn't do well, but eventually fell into one hand. And today, it's the most quoted book after the Bible is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. And he's the most read living author in the world. Chinua Achebe, when he wrote Things Fall Apart, have you ever read the story? He was just working like many of us, a young boy. I think he was 28 or so when he wrote Things Fall Apart. He didn't have money. He didn't have anything. But the book was so good that I think his British supervisor or something saw that book. After reading it, she was amazed. And she advised him to send that book. I think she gave him a recommendation somewhere where he eventually sent the book to some publishers in UK. That's why we know Things Fall Apart. He didn't do launching for it. The quality sold itself. So excellence sells itself. In my final year, I was hidden in school for a good part of it. In my final year, what endeared me to a lot of my professors was one presentation. Just one presentation. We had a seminar presentation, a mock seminar presentation. They called my group. My HOD was there. So many lecturers were there. I think Professor, what's her name? Chukudebe was there. They called them. They were all in the same room. There were so many of us that were called for the presentation. After I finished my presentation, many of my lecturers took my phone number that day. I don't know what I said, but that was what endeared me to many of my lecturers. I heard one of them say that they said that this young man is a gifted orator, but I don't really subscribe to that statement, because what he was seeing was years of training. I have my gifts, I believe that, but he didn't see the years of
activities.
teaching Sunday school, study. I was telling you guys here that the quality of your mind reflects on everything you do beyond the words. The quality of your mind is actually what there is the unspoken word behind every spoken word. And that unspoken word is the quality of the inward man. So keep building on yourself. Keep developing excellence. It will sell itself.
All right, thank you so much, Winner. I would just like to remark upon what you said there about the book thing. I was reading Covey. Was that 2 years ago? And he was talking about the personality ethic and the principle ethic, and that's one thing that has pervaded the Nigerian society, where everybody wants to have a book because they want to promote themselves, a selfish goal, not because they really have a mentality of service and giving. And that's why you see somebody just wants to do something so that, and it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. So I think this is a clarion call. It is clear what is expected of us if we're going to drive a change in our country. And like we have been saying all evening, it starts with us. It starts with our attitude. It starts with our approach. All right. Do we have any other person that has something to still say before we take a final call to action and then we round off the meeting? Anybody? Okay. So I want to believe that there is nobody that has something extra to add. So I just want to take out this time to give a simple counsel to everyone that has been a part of tonight's meeting. Don't just let those words that you've heard uh, go to sleep. All right, take with you those words and do a personal evaluation. When I hear things like this, I consciously set out a time, even if it's 2 hours, even if it's 3 hours, to sit down with this thing and judge myself in the light of them. What is my goal? Am I a selfish person? Do I still have that dream? What's my platform looking like? All right. So all these things that we have said tonight, it's time for us to take them and burn them. Like I tell people, knowledge is not profitable until it's transformative in your own life, until it causes a change in your own life. So don't just hear these things and just be all excited about them. Yes, be excited, but let that motivation drive you to make a conscious change in your life. All right. So that's the simple call to action that we have for today. I don't know. I heard someone unmute their mic. Would someone want to say something before we round off? Oh, okay. I don't think so. So once again, I want to say a very
Yeah,
big thank you
I
to
was
everyone that
one
has
that.
been a part of.
Hello.
Oh, okay. I was about to give the vote of thanks. All right, you can go on. You can go on. Shoot, please.
Okay, thank you. I was the one that unmuted
Yeah.
my audio. So I really
Okay,
want to
go on.
appreciate
Go on.
my dear brother for this night talk. I sat down all this while. I was assimilating every single thing. And I think he really punctured something in me, you know, where he took time to explain the reason why we must think about what we are offering more than what we are getting. It really sank very well, and I want us to think about it. As common, as simple as it sounded, but that is a very, very key concept that makes all the difference in every sustainable or in every success that we reckon with today. So my little comment is just to appreciate Winner and thank him for the inspiration tonight. And thank you, the organizers, for this platform. God bless you.
Thanks a lot. Bless you too, bro.
Thank you so much, sir, for that contribution and that vote of thanks. Thank you very much. So, like I was saying earlier, thanks to everyone that has been a part of tonight's event. I really, on behalf of the organizers, want to say thank you so much.